I'm here with Osiris, and Osiris, your name has a very special meaning, I understand. So tell us a little bit of what your name means.
It means Egyptian god.
Egyptian god. Okay, but today you're not an Egyptian god. Today you are Doctor Strange, right? Okay, so talk a little bit about why you chose Doctor Strange from all the different Marvel characters or DC characters or just all the characters in general.
I like magic and I wanted to wear a cape.
Okay, so why not like a Superman, for example?
I feel like Superman is like not that like fun.
Okay, so Doctor Strange is a little bit cooler, right? Okay, so I see it here. You have what is this called again?
The Emerald.
Emerald. Okay, so with the Infinity Stone in the middle, right? And how did you make this yourself? How did you get this?
My mom made it.
Thanks, Mom. Okay. So we're back with Osiris. Now, Osiris, have you seen any of the Marvel films? Okay, what's your favorite one?
The newest Avengers Endgame.
Endgame. Okay. Was it pretty long?
Yeah, like 3 hours.
Okay, good. So you know there's one coming out today, right? Called Dark Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gonna watch that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Can I come with you?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, next time. Okay. So one more question. Do you have a special pose that you want to show everyone, like a very awesome, cool Doctor Strange pose?
Yeah.
All right, you guys, welcome to Two Guys in a Comic Book. I'm joined here with Big Mike. Once again, Big Mike, how's it going today?
Doing good,
Yeah.
man.
When did I see you last?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Okay. Yeah. So how you been? Anything new?
Yeah, I mean, in the world of cosplay, always.
Okay. So you have done any cosplay recently?
Yeah, actually, I have. The last event I was at was Awesome Con. actually.
Okay. The one in DC, right?
Yeah, that one's in DC, and I was different variations of Black Panther. So I did a Man Without Fear version of Black Panther. There was a comic series in the early 2000s, actually mid 2000s, where he took over for Daredevil and Hell's Kitchen, and it was more of a tactical look to it. And also one recently from the Exiles comic. It was Wild West version of Black Panther. So the Exiles, I don't know if you know much about them. In the comic series, they're a group of X-Men, but they're all from different dimensions.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they're dimension hop. So this particular dimension was in the Old West, and T'Challa was hunting down Magneto in this particular town. And so I actually did that cosplay as well.
Okay. So I mean, I've been seeing some of these, conventions and I've seen the different variations of cosplay costumes. Do you make your own, or like some of these guys they go all out? I mean, they spend 12 months to make the costume. So, so do you spend that much time?
I do a little bit of both.
Okay.
I do a little bit of buying, I do a little bit of tweaking, I do a little bit of creating. So I just kind of like, whatever time I have, like, I want somebody else to do it for me, or I'll just modify some things, to make it work.
Okay.
Like one of the examples I have of that, so I do an Indigo Tribe John Stewart, Green Lantern Corps. So the Indigo Tribe, this was from War of the Lanterns, where each of the 4 Earth Lanterns lost their rings, but they had to use rings from the other spectrum. So John Stewart was basically in a purple camo outfit. Okay. So I purchased white camo. I dyed the fabric, in a big cauldron with the fabric dye, and I modified a sniper rifle to make it look like the one in the comics. So that one's a little bit more of like, you know, a little nitpicking.
Right. Okay. And I think you have some photos of that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So can we show those photos real quick? Wow, that was great. And that's
Thank you.
You spent, I don't know, you spent a lot of time on those.
Yeah.
I remember I used to do cosplay, about 20 years ago, and I had a guy who just kind of slapped something together. And that was Goku. So you know that's, I don't know, it was my focus. That's amazing.
I've been doing it since 2005, so it's a lot of trial and error. My first cosplay was Blade, and it wasn't the greatest. I found an old paintball vest, and I took a silver Sharpie and modified it, and it looked close enough. So there you go.
You know, at the time when I was in cosplay, I always told myself that I was gonna work out in the gym, so that the following year I could come back as Battle Goku, right, with the shirt ripped and six pack.
Right.
So 20 years later, I'm still working on that.
Oh man.
The six pack, I mean.
You working on the six pack? I got a keg for you. I got a keg.
Yeah. So you have a con that you're heading up next, or?
Yep, probably Baltimore Comic Con. Or no, actually Blurred Con is before that. Blurred Con's coming up in July actually.
Okay. Where's that?
That's going to be in Northern Virginia at the I think Crystal City, one of the Crystal City hotels.
Okay. So you'll be there all weekend.
Probably Saturday.
I'm gonna look for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna vote for you too.
Okay. Look for me.
I won't come as Battle Goku because I'm again not ready to see her.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Maybe next year.
Everybody can cosplay.
Okay.
Just, it's all it's for fun.
Okay.
Anybody can cosplay.
Do you ever go to KatsuCon or Otakon? Those are some of the, I think probably the bigger ones in this area.
Yes. I do frequent Katsu.
Okay. But are they in the grand scheme of things, are they bigger than some of the ones out west, or are they kind of like on the same level?
I feel like Katsu at this point has grown exponentially, and I would consider it probably one of the premier anime cons.
Okay.
Because it's not actually a comic con, it's for anime. But yeah, Katsu is probably one of the premier anime cons in the US.
Well, I went to All-Star Con last weekend, and
Nice.
I met some really awesome people. I had some great footage. So we're gonna show that to you.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, when we come back.
All right.
Hi, I'm here with Arthur, the Zombie King. So Arthur, you've got some amazing artwork here. I mean, I see the Hulk, I see pretty much the Avengers Squad, Superman, Deadpool. Can you tell me a little bit about your artwork and how did you come up with all this, all this ideas of how to, paint something in so many different ways?
Zombified. Yeah, I'm actually, they call me the Zombie King. Because basically I started out working on a series called Marvel Zombies from Marvel Comics. It became one of the best sellers of all time, biggest hits. And then following that, I did two other series. I did Raise the Dead, and I did Army of Darkness vs. Marvel Zombies, and then Fanboys vs. Zombies. And it's actually what started this whole zombie phenomenon, which was kind of like when the Beatles came over, all those bands from England came over, the Rolling Stones and the Animals. And it started like a zombie phenomenon in the United States, and everybody just started to become crazy about zombies, and then everybody else started to jump on our bandwagon. Brad Pitt jumped on our bandwagon. Plants vs. Zombies jumped on our bandwagon. World War Z, on and on. Toyota started putting zombies in their car commercials. So this is where it started. It really started with Marvel Zombies. I'm classically trained. My training is 16th century Dutch and Italian, so I'm really trained to paint religious art. But I'm actually from the East Village. That's like the pop culture, one of the pop culture hubs in the world. It's where Andy Warhol comes from, where punk music, new wave music, rap music, all that fashion, all the poetry, and the great literature all comes from the West Village and the East Village.
Okay.
So I'm from there. I'm the latest export from the East Village in New York City, and I do the zombies.
Okay. And so I want to ask you. So so it's in addition to creating these fantastic paintings,
Yeah.
you're involved with Marvel and DC, right?
Right,
So
correct,
can you talk a little bit about your involvement and what is it that you do with them?
Yeah, I'm a freelancer, so I work for everybody. For the last 10 years, I've been working primarily with Marvel. I think back in 2006, they wanted me to sign an exclusive contract with them, so I signed an exclusive contract with them. And they started to throw me all their horror titles, so I kind of became the go-to guy for horror stuff. So when anybody has a horror title, I'm kind of the guy they come to. So now DC right now, I'm working on the new DC series for DC Comics. That's the big thing in comics right now. Here's one of them right here. Yeah, I'll show this here.
Okay.
This is the cover issue number 2 of Deceased. And yeah, so I like working for Marvel. Yeah, they're pretty. The management is pretty good. They give you time to do your best work, and the checks arrive on time, and the characters tend to be more developed than the superhero characters for other companies. They put a lot more, when they were creating the characters, a lot more thought went into it. And then over the years, the writers working on the Marvel characters have did some good work on developing the characters for the series. So it's a lot of fun working on that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me just ask you one more question. So let's say, for example, something like this masterpiece over here with the Hulk and Avengers. How long does it take for you to create something like this?
Yeah, we call this the Hulk pile. This was from Marvel Zombies Returns. It was one of the covers. My average for working on a cover is about 3 weeks. These are all oil paintings and gouache paintings. Half of them are gouache paintings, half of them are oil paintings, depending on how many characters are in it. So if a cover has more than two characters on it, the more characters there are, the longer it takes me. So for instance, the Superman one that I just showed you, that guy's like the entire DC universe in it. That thing took me 4 months to paint that cover.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay.
So that's my average. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Arthur, thanks so much, and Arthur, the Zombie King.
Talk with you. Good
Yeah,
talk
and
with
thank you for showing us your
my
fantastic
pleasure.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, my
Thanks so much.
Greetings from Virginia.
And that's it. Yeah.
Good job, man. Good
So,
job.
yeah. Thanks. So we'll edit all that stuff.
Welcome back. So I'm here with Big Mike. We're talking about cosplay. We're talking about the Comic Cons. Big Mike, take a look at this. All right.
I'm here with Billy Mitchell. He is the video game player of the century. So, Billy, I saw that there was a viral video that was on YouTube, or maybe even other online outlets, about you having a perfect score on Pac-Man. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Correct. A perfect score on Pac-Man is every dot, every energizer, every prize, every board, all 4 blue men, 256 boards, never dying once, 4, 5 hours, gameplay, something like that. That was in 1999. I'm going to do it again here shortly because it's the 20th anniversary. But the fact of the matter is, it was me versus a Canadian friend, and he's a nice guy, but we got to keep it home here in the USA.
Yeah. But you're better. You're better.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much.
So let me ask you, how long did it take you to achieve something like that?
Well, as far as the actual gameplay, it was a little over 5 hours. But as a kid, I played it feverishly. A kid, you have no responsibilities. You could play video games 40 hours a week and get away with it. As an adult, you never could. Luckily, I did it when I was a kid, or I achieved that skill level as a kid. Then in 1999, when it was on its 20th anniversary of Pac-Man, when there was a resurgence or a reinterest in video games, just like there is in a car that's a classic, I simply said, wow, I think I still got it. And I practiced for a little bit, and then I actually went to execute it. And I actually didn't know if I could execute it. I didn't know how long it would take. I bought a plane ticket to the world's largest arcade, Fun Spot, and I didn't buy a return ticket because I just told my wife, I said, I'm going to stay there till I get it, which took 2 days, and I got it. So
Wow.
great.
Wow, that's amazing. So Billy, if you could maybe summarize through a few words for some of the younger players coming up, and they wanted to achieve something like this, what would your advice be to some of the younger players coming up?
The first advice I have for anybody is to stay in school.
Okay.
There's such a small set of people who have the good luck and good fortune I do, and I know that. And when you have all the security behind you, the security of a great family, the security of your education, and your well-being, then it makes things of this nature, it makes it more feasible, more realistic. You can be a success at it because you don't have all your chips in one basket. But the fact of the matter is, this, along with anything you do in life, you absolutely give a 110% effort, you focus, and most importantly, you embrace your failure. Every time you fail, you embrace it because you should have learned from that failure. You should have learned from the failure. You should have learned from the failure. And each time you learn, you get that much closer to success.
Okay.
You can't be afraid to fail. One time, I said I was going to get a particular score, and I played a game, and I played a game, and I played a game, and I played it 94 times.
Wow.
In order to get that score, and I finally got it. Again, I had to embrace each time and learn each time from it. I've heard that. Not only do I believe that, but that's been shared with me by great athletes, and so I certainly believe it, and I actually preach it, as you can hear.
Okay. So, in a few words, stay in school, don't give up, and persistence.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In anything you do, do it to 110% of your ability. Don't ever do something halfway. You're only cheating yourself, and you're only cheating the opportunities or the doors that'll open in the future. Always. Think about it when you're in school. If you're sitting in class and something's going on, you have a test or a quiz coming, and you're not prepared or you haven't worked at it, man, it sucks just sitting in that chair. But when you know you're ready, when you have your guns loaded, you sit in that chair and you're as cocky as can be because you know you're ready and you know you're going to succeed. Absolutely. It's the same thing with gaming or really anything in life.
Okay. Well, Billy, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me today, and good luck with that perfect score in a few minutes, and I'm sure you'll get that without any difficulty.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Very good.
Thanks, Bill.
So, Big Mike, what you think?
That was great.
Yeah,
I love it.
so Billy Mitchell, right, the video game player of the century. I mean, the first time I saw his YouTube Pac-Man gameplay, and that was amazing. I mean,
His dedication is, beyond anything I could ever fathom.
how do you, I don't even understand where you start. I'm still trying to figure out, how do I get to the first level of Mario without dying?
Exactly. And this guy's like, well, to the millisecond, you have to be precise. You can't make one mistake, and you have to be ready for 4 or 5 hours to complete this mission. And the game itself even just conked out before he could even finish, but he could still finish the game. And it was just amazing.
So, were you a Pac-Man fan? Did you play Pac-Man, or did you play Donkey Kong?
All those. So, growing up in the 80s and 90s, arcades was a huge deal. Like, when your parents took you to the arcade, it was almost like taking you to a, Six Flags or something. So, we would go to the arcades and just, play as many of the games as we could and just, go through quarters like it was water.
That was our Six Flags.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah. So were you also a fan of some of the older Street Fighters or the Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I even to this day still love fighters. Street Fighter 2, back when I was a kid, was probably my favorite as a kid. Until Marvel vs. Capcom.
Okay.
And then that just stole the show from me.
Yeah.
Because it had Street Fighter, most of the Capcom characters, and then all the Marvel characters.
Yes. I think that's great. I mean, when the first Marvel vs. Capcom came out, I was like, wow, this is the dream times 1,000, right? But my thing with games like those is that they get so big with the moves and stuff, where like it goes off screen, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe
You can lose yourself.
Yeah, so maybe because I'm getting too old, but I get kind of lost, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're the guy winning, it doesn't
Okay.
matter if you know what's
So I just go like this.
Be a button masher.
Okay,
That's a thing.
Okay, and then
Do it.
All right, Big Mike, we're gonna take a quick
Okay.
commercial break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk more about the Comic Cons.
All right.
We're back with Eric Jacobs. So Eric, tell us what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so this is just a Darth Maul. He's a collector piece from Pepsi Cola. This is from a long time ago, but this is just a number piece that we have. But people like to take pictures, so we have the backdrop so people can take pictures of Darth Maul. And I guess we can move on to
Okay.
yeah.
So this is amazing. I mean, how long did it take to create something like this?
So this was a Millennium Falcon Extraordinaire. So there's only a few hundred of these that were actually 700 technically from Toys R Us 20 years ago. 500 were given away, and then many of them got destroyed. But this was one of the pieces that we got lucky enough to get, and we took this one down, took everything apart, put resin inside it, and we recreated this with a smoke system, sound system, and lighting kit. And obviously the weathering and the painting and stuff like that we used. These were actually from my mom's art supplies. That
Wow. So Eric, then over here I see you have a R2-D2.
Well, just turn this thing on real quick.
Okay. So
See how this thing.
Okay.
It's all a remote control hotkey. Okay, and then we also have some of the other models over here that we have lighting kits and sound system. Over here. This is kind of if you want to take a real quick picture of how we take these apart. So this is what we'll do. We'll take some of these electronics out of some of these storytellers, and we'll build them in here with a sound system and remote control.
Welcome back. I'm here with Big Mike. Big Mike, I want to show you one more other clip.
Okay.
Okay, that from the Comic Con last weekend.
All right. Cool.
So I'm here in the arcade with the arcade buffet.
Yeah, the arcade buffet, yeah.
So all these machines are yours. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into, acquiring all these machines and your journey through this entire process?
Well, it kind of starts off, it's a fairly long story, but the short version is when I was a kid, I never got to go into an 80s arcade. I've never been in one, which is kind of sad. But when I was out with Mom and Pop, I used to watch them at grocery stores and all that stuff all the time, and I never had any money to play. So kind of, shortchanged as a kid, kind of thing. But so later in life, I found out that, I could own them, and I said to myself one day, I'm going to own a machine. And I said, well, I finally got one around, 99 or so. And, well, it's grown to this day since. So I'm like, I got them, and here they are. So fast forward to now, and I've gotten a master collection, and I enjoy bringing them to conventions for people to play and have fun and smile and have relived their childhood. So that's kind of what it is and how it progressed to here. So,
And let me ask you, how did you get the name the Arcade Buffet?
well, it's a play on some things. Play on me kind of way is I like to eat. So you call me buffet. Well, and when you go into an arcade, it's very boring if you have all of the same game or the same genre or all the same type. So my collection consists of many, many, many different types: fighters and shooters and shmups and beat 'em ups and just maze and platforming, all that stuff. So you can walk into places when I bring them to conventions or anywhere like that and have a buffet of things to play. So everybody is happy. There's classics, there's fighters, there's shooters, there's rail shooter, all kinds of stuff. So it just makes it fun.
Okay, well, Mr. Buffet, if I may call you that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for.
Mike, what'd you think?
Oh man, that's great. That was great footage.
Yeah, so-
I'm sorry I missed that one.
Yeah, no, that's right. So one thing I wanted to say was that when I was in the arcade, there's a guy. His name was the Arcade Buffet. Okay, that was his name.
Really?
So in the arcade room, there were probably about 20 machines,
Okay.
and they were all owned by one guy. So immediately when I got there, I went to the Mortal Kombat arcade. There was a probably 10-year-old kid there. I thought I was gonna get my butt whooped. To my surprise, I did not.
Oh.
Then I realized here's why. The arcade was the 90s version of Mortal Kombat. The younger kids, they're not trained in that one. But so I went in there and I felt good about it. You know, but you know, you take
Beating up on 10-year-old kids.
That's what I do now. But you know, you take them to some of the newer, you know, PS3, PS4.
Yeah, I still play some of those. I try and keep up because you know, Dad's got to be the king of the king of the castle. So especially when it comes to the fighters. So when the kids and the wife and everybody wants to challenge me on the fighters, it's like, can you beat the master?
I was once, well, I'm sorry, I was almost once the Soul Calibur champion.
Wow.
Right. So this was, well, long story short, I lost to the guy who ended up winning the tournament.
Okay.
But they didn't really like my style. I knocked people off the bench. I'm that guy.
So win.
Right. But they kind of booed me a little bit because they want, they want you to showcase your skills.
Right. Combos.
I'm like, hey, listen, it's either a win or it's a loss.
Yep.
And it was almost a win for that one, but it wasn't, but it's okay. Next time.
It's alright, man. A dub's a dub.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so it was great. I'm looking forward to the next one. I think probably Otacon's next one, right?
Yeah, Otacon's, it actually moved to DC a few years ago. It used to be in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Moved to DC a few years ago, the convention center.
Okay. Yeah, so, will you go?
Yeah, I'm planning on going to that one, yeah.
Okay, all 3 days?
Maybe. We'll see what the wife wants.
Okay, so does your wife also cosplay with you?
She does.
Okay.
She does.
So who's more involved, you or her?
Me.
Okay.
Me, definitely.
So-
Oh my god, yeah, me.
You
And
call
my-
shots.
Yeah. Well, I don't call the shots. It's whatever, what cosplay she wants to do. But I was involved with cosplay, before, and she was like, it's really cool. Like, I'd like to try it. And so, her first cosplay with me was also kind of a few years ago. She did a Wonder Woman cosplay. She's done Black Widow, Domino. What else?
Wonder Woman, Dominoes.
Yeah, she's done Domino, Black Widow. She's also done Star Sapphire from the Green Lantern Corps comics.
Let's take a look.
All right, cool.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Wow, you guys really went all out.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, look, Mike, Big Mike, thanks again for
Oh, yeah,
being my
no
guest
problem.
today. And
Anytime.
I'll see you next time.
All right.
You guys at home, make sure to stay tuned and join us next time on Two Guys in a Comic Book. Take care.
All right, and so that's 2 in the can. Now you ready to change again?
Yes.
If you don't have anything dark, keep this. He can change, so he'll look different. But
it's not dark.